What's up guys, welcome to another leftstickrightstick Dreams community creative jam analysis video. This second week's jams theme was New Year's celebration, so as you can probably expect, the large majority of entries sort of featured around fireworks in some shape or form. There are some really interesting takes and utilizations of fireworks and great scenes throughout. Out of all the jams in the beta, this probably had the least number of entries for some reason though. Anyways, first up we'll start off with Emma's New Year by EE Studios. This was a very weird level for me. I mean, you got this big ass 2019 blob just coming and squishing some musicians, and then just fireworks in the background with, you know, some standard MM music. It's very weird to me. I can't. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised how this got into, you know, the top 10 voting. Maybe it's just its weirdness. But this was, I guess, I like the effects in the whole crashing down effect. And the good points are crashing down effects are good. The actual fireworks look alright. It's just, it's so weird to me. This doesn't make sense. I mean, and also Emma's, you know, obviously flailing around that spell. I guess this is going for the whole fun and funny element of New Year. I mean, personally, I didn't really get the whole thing, and there wasn't really much to do. It was just press a button to release 2019 in fireworks. I'm sure that's all I could decipher. I mean, I spent quite a while just walking around trying to do something else. Was there something else to do? There's nothing. It's just press a button and it's New Year, and that's it. I mean, I guess that is it, and people just found that funny and fun. Next up, we have New Year 2019 by Jimmy Jules 153. This is a pretty amazing little fireworks sort of light show thing, which is quite nice. And you know, Jimmy Jules actually has a whole bunch of Dreams tutorials, which you can go see on his own channel. You'll see a link here shortly. But you know, the great thing about this whole level was I liked the whole fireworks. And the music was, you know, very fitting. The light show is very good, except for maybe it seemed a bit maybe tame at times. It just felt like it could have been more going on. But then the added bonus to this is that there's the interactive element. So you're actually interacting with the light show. You actually have to try and, you know, click on the fireworks, which actually I found a little difficult using the controller, because you had to use the move element of it. So of the controller, you have to move it around, and it wasn't quite so smooth to actually go and click all the fireworks when it got more exciting. There's lots of points you could really rack up, but I think it's the control element didn't feel as smooth as it could have been, in my opinion. And maybe there could have been a bit more variety, because after the beginning bit, it does feel like all the fireworks they look exactly the same, it's just a different color, and you're just trying to tap them all. But I do commend the interactivity in this whole element, which actually I really liked it, and does deserve to be in the top 10 because of this interactivity. Next up, we have a Galactic New Year by Ruleboo. I hope I'm saying that right. This was actually a very interesting level. You're piloting a spacecraft in space, and you're just trying to go around the world, and you see fireworks happening around the world. I feel like this maybe wasn't intended for a New Year's creation, but then they thought, oh, there's a New Year's jam going on, we'll add some fireworks in. Because the control and going around this Earth is actually very amazing. I like that there's like a little big planet moon over there in the corner as well. The actual flying mechanism is alright. It does feel a bit weird, I guess, but maybe, you know, if we're with that distance from the Earth, if we're moving forward, I guess makes it look like it's that fast. But one of the things I feel like that could have been improved upon, obviously this is not so much a bad thing that doesn't have this, it's just a way that this level could be improved upon is, you know, actually if you're moving across the world, there's like maybe tags to say this is what city it is, with the relevant timing of fireworks. So if you're going around the world, you see the fireworks in a relevant time frame, you know, a time schedule, time lapse. It's starting in one city and then slowly moving on to the other. Although I guess, you know, you can fly around in any direction you want throughout in this Galactic New Year level. So I guess that's probably why I didn't implement this, but that's something that I would have really liked, you know, city by city, fireworks following it on as the year goes, New Year comes into place. Next up we have Escalate 2, Legend of Curly's Gold by Liu Z, which I mean, it's a really nice level, don't get me wrong. I actually really like this whole level, and I like to see the further Escalate levels. I mean, you are a bunny in this whole darkscape, and you're just jumping on top and around a whole cityscape kind of place. I mean, it's nice. It's got some nice visual elements to it. I like the whole shadowy and you're the light, and there's pathways that generate as you walk along them, which actually looks really cool. The main issue I have with this level being in the top 10 for this game jam is that what kind of relevance does it have to New Year? I mean, maybe if Chinese New Year, it would be maybe the Year of the Rabbit. That would make a bit more sense, but it's not even the Year of the Rabbit. And so, what the hell is going on? It makes no sense. All that has a tie to the fireworks theme is at the end, there's a few fireworks. So in terms of that, I feel like judging this level, went a bit wrong in that, we're meant to be judging on New Year's celebration. How is this celebrating New Year? I love this level, to be honest. If there was anything aside from this, I would actually really like this level in terms of judging it. As just a level to play, it's good. Just, it doesn't fit the theme. Next up, we have New Year's Night by Cyrix. This was actually a very beautiful level. I really liked it. I had a few issues with it because it felt like, there was too much movement on the inside, but I guess that's sort of the point. Basically, this whole setting is you're in a room, there's a whole bunch of letters which you can read to develop story, and then outside the window there's it's nighttime and firework displays are going on. So what I don't like about this level was that there's very limited angles to look outside the window, and that you couldn't actually really see that many fireworks. Aside from that, the level is very beautiful, and I liked the whole... I mean, maybe it's quite bad that you've got all these arrows randomly painted everywhere, but at least it tells you what you can do and when you can go. It's kind of nice you could pick up stuff and move stuff around. That was quite fun, and there's just a relevant kind of story element with all these letters. But yeah, and then the whole point of looking out the window for the New Year celebration, I feel like there could have been more to see here, or more angles to see, and maybe go up to... We could maybe sit up in that alcove, whereas we could move around this whole room except for sit down by the window. And I feel like maybe the sound was a bit too quiet as well. But apart from that, really great level. I loved the beauty of it. Did you like it? If you did, click that like button below. Then next up we have New Year's Eve by Snow Hermit. This, in many ways, was quite similar to the Escalate level before. It's a nice little platformer, but then its only real relevance to New Year's is a fireworks show at the very, very end, which, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any quest or relevancy to the whole platforming element to this whole level. I mean, obviously it's the snow, so maybe this was a level that was intended for the Christmas jam, but it never got quite finished in time, so they just added fireworks at the end. It's a nice little snowscape, to be honest. And then the platforming bits, some bits could really be improved from. It does seem like it was a very quick job, this. So in terms of being in the top 10, I'm not really too convinced it deserved a place in the top 10, because there were still quite other cool levels around. But overall, this is still not a bad creation being in the first 2 weeks of the beta. But yeah, this little person, this character is going to be in another level I've seen as well. But in the fireworks show was quite nice actually compared to some of the other fireworks shows we've seen in other levels. At least there's a sense of epicness in this fireworks show at least. And the whole movie cutscene sort of element makes it all that more better. It's just that generally it seemed a bit lacking in the whole New Year's element. Next up we have one of the more interesting levels in the whole community jam for New Year's celebration, and it's Light Up the Night by Ekrapnate. I really don't know how to pronounce that. I hope I'm not screwed that up. But this was probably one of the most ingenious sort of levels in the whole jam. I'm not sure what you are, you're the blue light, and you're just flying around the sky, activating stars that blow up fireworks. This does feel very much like a mobile game or a flash game, but that's how things go. But this is, there's a whole nice little puzzle the element. There's a puzzling element, but obstacle element where you have to avoid red dots, and you have to light up these yellow dots to create a firework. And you're on a journey towards the countdown disco ball thing for New Year's, which is, overall, I really like the whole concept of this. Maybe the controlling wasn't so smooth. I didn't quite like it. It was a bit hard to control, but overall the concept was amazing. Maybe there could have been a bit more challenging element to it, because it did feel very quick. There wasn't that much variety, and difficulty was very easy. But it's one of the first levels. What can you expect? Not too much perfection here, but I really love the concept. But maybe the fireworks could be a bit bigger each time you went across and actually hit one of the lights. Fireworks could have been much bigger. Then we have New Year's in the Neon City by Lidus. This was actually quite a really nice level. It's a very minimalistic and simplistic level. I really like the whole animation beginning. That just adds a whole extra element, which actually sort of makes the whole level feel less static and dull. That whole intro bit where we're coming up the escalator, elevator. But this whole neon scene is all very simple shapes and lines, and I really see a futuristic kind of city. And I like how he's used lines to maybe represent like trains or cars whispering through this level. There's a whole dynamicism in this whole scene, and fireworks as well. So it's not just a whole scene, it's sort of like one of those things. It's a very e-card-like look, which is, I don't know, it's a really nice sort of aesthetic here. Everything fits very well. Maybe the Happy Dreaming could have had some maybe animation to go with it. The music is a little nice. It's very ambient. Ambient music is very nice, and the fireworks, there's actually variations in the fireworks, which is what I really like about it. I love the trains, the whole dynamicism that it's not. So you can actually keep looking at it for a while. You can actually look around and see some more details. It's not just one static thing that you look at and oh, that's it. So this is a very nice level, and it's somewhat deserving of third place in the whole jam. Then in second place we have New Year's Resolution by Stacy JB6. I feel like this is probably one of the more in-depth levels in the whole jam. This was a lot more to it than the rest of the entries, and you're basically I don't know, it's a bear thing, and you are walking around your neighborhood trying to gather your friends for your firework party. So, like I was saying before, this is technically very much a fireworks at the end level, but unlike the previous ones that we saw, there's the whole element beforehand of before the fireworks. It actually ties into the theme itself. So this is why this is a much more improved version of the just fireworks at the end kind of level. And I like that we're venturing around finding friends. It's all a very much New Year's theme thing, because what you do at New Year's, you celebrate with your friends. You got a party going, you got your friends here, you got a little dancing going on, you got fireworks in the background. So this is all very much in the right theme of New Year's celebration. Maybe I feel like there could have been a bit more interactivity with each of your friends, because there's no real interactivity. You just go there and they follow you. That's it. But the cutscenes are kind of nice with this whole fireworks show. The fireworks show is nice. Got the whole nice Happy New Year text as well, which is great. And then finally in first place we have Big Ben is Late for New Year's. I thought this was a really fun level because you play Big Ben. You are Big Ben in this whole level, and every time he jumps he makes the chime sound, which is really cool. You can venture around London. Not really sure to how much extent, because I kind of just thought, oh okay, well, I don't think there's much to explore. London's not all that different, to be honest. And then you just have to go, Big Ben has to go back to his own spot to actually chime the New Year's down, which is very cool. And I like the whole interactive with you jumping, activating the whole fireworks show. That was very nice. The only thing that I would say probably isn't so great is that I liked the whole concept of following what it really is like for New Year's in London. Big Ben chimes, and then you've got the fireworks show, but there's the whole music doesn't quite seem to match up quite as well as it does in real life, maybe. But the whole anthropomorphic Big Ben. It was really fun tie-in to the whole fireworks show. But maybe there could have been more to do with Big Ben. Maybe he had to do something before starting the countdown. That would be cool. And the fireworks show does sadly feel and look a bit tame, unfortunately. But a really great fun level. It's a good combination and well thought out show overall. So I mean, what do you think about these levels in the New Year celebration community creative jam? Seems like a lot to say, but let me know in the comments below what you thought about these levels. Did you agree with some of the voting or not? And subscribe to Left Stick Right Stick for more creations from the Dreamiverse.